Let's install a camera on the RV. I did not pick this camera for any other reason except just reading reviews and taking a risk. My RV came with a pre-wire for a Furrion camera. I chose to get my own for a lot less money. You can do the same. Remove the cover plate if you have one of these devices on there. Expose the wiring carefully because it's tucked inside that little hole and it is sharp. In my situation, the green is the positive, the white is the negative. The purple, I did not find any power on it. We're going to reuse this cover plate as a mounting platform for the camera. So let's take the camera apart. We're going to remove the brackets. Do not lose those screws or those washers. They're very important. Align your bracket to the mounting plate as best you can. Precision is not that critical. Align it and pre-drill. I used machine screws to hold the bracket onto the mounting plate. Having a screw go through with a nut on the other side is going to be a lot more secure than using one of those self-threading screws. Let's drill the other side. Word of caution, you can use pliers or channel locks, a vice grip. I've been doing installs for many years, so I'm pretty comfortable with power tools. There goes the first bolt, but the hole was too small. There we go, perfect fit. We're going to put the nut on the other side. Then we're going to prep the other side and secure it as well. There we go. Second one. I did double up mine with a second nut just to make sure the bolt does not back up. I mean, it's probably not needed. We are going to drill a hole in the center. There you go. Two nuts on there. In my field, we don't get paid for warranty work, so we want to make sure that when we make an installation of whatever sorts, it goes in properly the first time. In here I use a unibit. These unibits are quite expensive, so if you don't have one, you're going to have to pre-drill it with a regular drill bit and file it with a semi-round or one of those rat files. Maybe a Dremel would help. The unibit is going to do a better job, and you're going to see why. This unibit still was not large enough. I have a second unibit. This one's very expensive and dull. Took a little bit to get through the metal. Be careful with the metal shavings. Here we go, we're going to thread it. The wire came with a grommet, and that's why you want a precision drill. That grommet is going to keep all the moisture out, and you don't need to use any silicone or anything because it's going to be a perfect fit. I left the ears on the ends. I did not see a reason to remove them, As you see, the wire pulls right through without any problem. The camera is ready to go. The cable that came with this to wire into the RV is quite long. I trimmed mine. There's not that much room for wire, so we want to keep it to a minimum. Of course, in retrospect, this was still too long. I should have cut it in half. Not a big deal. I use manual cutters. If you don't have the skills to use manual cutters, be very careful because these wires break you very easily. Now we want to strip them. Get as much copper as possible. You're going to need it. Let's go outside. We're going to poke a hole into our wires so we can feed that wire into it and twist it. This is what makes a good connection. You don't have to solder it. Put it on, twist it very good. Insulate it with high quality tape. Mine is about $4 a roll. It's very, very good. Put a tie strap on there for security. Of course, cut those tie straps down. It's hard doing this with one hand and holding the camera. Tuck the wires in there, be very gentle. They'll go in, just be very patient. If you go too fast, you'll cut them. Now let's replace the plate with the original screws that we used to take out. And look at that, perfect fit, no silicone. Camera's mounted. From this angle, after I tested it, it was still too far out. I should have pointed it further down, and I will. But there's plenty of room. It's a professional install. And here's some proof that the camera does work. And that's it. Order yours and get to work.